Welcome to our Monday training call, which is actually all about Medicare. So this would be technically our Wednesday training call, which is hosted 7 p.m. Central Standard Time every single week. And this call today, I'm going to go back to Mr. Daryl Barton and get a testimonial from him about some of the leads that we're running that we literally just talked about. So we're going to duplicate exactly what he just said. But since more people have joined, he'll be able to maybe shed some light on that. And that's on the spot. He did not know I was going to say that, but we were just having such a great conversation before we even really started the call that I think it would be very fruitful for everyone to listen to. And this is a guy that has sold probably over 1,000 people on Medicare, I'd say. So Daryl's no joke. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be more. It could be a little bit less, but not a lot less. So he's got more Medicare knowledge than probably myself too, right? We bounce ideas off each other as well, right? There's some things that he knows a lot better than me, and there's some stuff that I might read that maybe I can provide some insight. So for a guy like that to be on my calls is like an honor, to see him join these calls, which is just amazing. So first and foremost, Daryl, I appreciate you more than you know, and it was also great meeting you down there in St. Louis. So we got to connect. I met Daryl a couple times, and um, another thing that's really great about those blitzes when we have the opportunity to do them is, especially right now this time of year, we have an opportunity during AEP to get money from the insurance companies, and the money that came from the insurance companies is actually, and you're probably right, I did probably send the wrong link too, by the way, Christy. That's actually probably a good point. I might have started the wrong link and sent the Wednesday link today. So it says I'm doing the Medicare call. But yeah, so as far as that goes, it's really a blessing this time of year to be able to write that much business. And as I just tell every single agent, what would $9,000 do for you? Right. So if you could only write 30 apps and that was it, and you only wrote 30 apps, you know, that's 9 grand that you're getting, plus health assessments. And I'm not saying you're going to write every single one of those with United Healthcare, but what if you wrote just 30 with Humana and that was all that you wrote, right? So that's 60 per app in health assessment times 30 apps. That's an extra $1,800, right? United Healthcare, you'd add an extra $450 because they pay 75 per each one. So it's not a $15 difference. Cigna, I went over all those numbers last time, but I think it's important that if I can find the numbers, I'll have to think about what tab I put it on. Oh, I know what tab I put it on. And I emailed it out to you guys. So let me go over those numbers again because I think those are incredibly important for the health assessments and how much y'all are getting paid for those, because it's basically a bonus. They can't call it a bonus, right? But it's essentially that's what it is, right? So we have United Healthcare coming at $75 per health assessment, Humana coming at $60 per health assessment, WellCare coming in at $125 for D-SNPs and C-SNPs only. As you know, they've removed a health assessment payment on regular Advantage plans, but this year for 2023, and when I say this year, everyone, just so you guys know, I'm saying 2023. That's what I mean by this year, since we're now in 2023 selling season. They're paying us to go back to it for WellCare, just to recap that for a second. 125 for C-SNPs and D-SNPs, and 75 for regular Medicare Advantage plans. So they brought that back. Cigna is giving us $125, okay, as like a base, okay, up to $175 per app. So what does that tell me for companies? That tells me that companies are hungry to capture market share and distribution from us as agents, right? So that's what they want. Now, obviously, because we're getting paid $175, we're not allowed to, right? Not legally allowed to just incentivize someone to go into a plan because we get paid more money. That's why what we're going to look at in just a moment, the commissions aspect of it, okay, is, hey, every plan you get paid the same, right? So one company can't go out there for an agent and say, hey, we're going to pay our agents $450, but from WellCare, and then Humana says, hey, we're going to pay our agents $500. Well, yeah, you're probably going to sell the plan that you get paid more, just like with life insurance. If you have higher commission level with one company over other, you might have an incentive to sell that company. That's why it's standardized. So just in general, I think it's important. Yeah, 1 second. Sorry, guys. There's people that are texting me to get in. So I sent the wrong one link, by the way. So yeah, so that's important for you guys to understand too, is it's an even playing field, okay, for all payments. So yeah, you're going to get paid more with selling some company, but in the end of the day, we have to do what's in the best interest of the client. And this is health insurance. Okay. So, health insurance itself is quite simple and straightforward, and you don't want to mess it up. But that's why we have the tools and the resources and the software to do that. So it's very difficult to make mistakes. So we're not going to make a mistake with doctors. We're not going to make a mistakes with drugs, right? And I'm going to show you guys some stuff that I was personally making mistakes with today as I walk through Sunfire. So we're not going to make mistakes with that stuff, and I think that's really important for us as agents to know that we have the tools and we have the resources to ensure that we can put clients in the best situation. And you're not just going to be incentivized by a health assessment, right? That's what I would call, it's like it's bonus cash to us. It's not a bonus come from the insurance company. They can't label it that way. It's not a bonus by any means, but you get paid extra money to do this stuff, right? So that's free money on top of it all. So if you added an extra 1,800, so if we go back to my original, numbers that I had here, I was saying, hey, if you wrote 30 apps and that's it, right? You sucked and you wrote 30 apps, right? That's 9 grand. And if you wrote them all with Humana, that's an extra $60 per app. That's an extra $1,800. So now you're at 10,800 bucks. And you know what? I'm going to guarantee you probably about 2 or 3 of those is going to be true ups at a minimum, right? So that's another 369. That's another $900. So another about $1,000 bucks. You're looking at 12 grand from writing around around 30 people. I mean, that's pretty free and easy money. So let me see here. Jeff said that he's struggling to get in. So sorry guys, I just want to make sure that, did I text the wrong link out? Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Chrissy. I must have used the wrong one. I wonder which one I sent out. Let me text that to him. Yeah. So if you guys see it in the group chat, if it's the wrong link, because people are actually asking me to get in right now. Yeah, if someone would, I think Christy sent it in one chat. So if someone would send in the FS Nation chat to make sure I posted the right link. So whoever got in here from FS Nation, if y'all could do that, that'd be great. Appreciate you. Okay, cool. So yeah, so with that said, the math just works out great for us as agents. Only 30 apps, you're gonna make 12 grand. I mean, that's phenomenal. So let's kind of unpack that number. So I'm gonna use my calculator here. $12,000 divided by 30 apps. That's 400 bucks, right? Well, it's blurred on my screen. That's $400. So that's an average AP if you're writing a final expense app of about 35 bucks, right? So in that ballpark. Now, what I will tell you as well is when I first started this business, and Daryl, you've been in business longer than me, we didn't get paid a lot, not nearly that amount. We weren't getting about $400 per app, commission payments on average when you include some of the true ups and stuff like that. And I get a lot of true ups myself personally because of the marketing that I'm doing. So I'll tell you that it is just a blessing to see commissions go up every single year. We had about 4.5% or 4.2% increase from 2022 selling season to 2023. So that just in and of itself is an absolute blessing. And then, the fact that we're just getting paid so much more money now than we've ever got paid in the past, it really justifies it a lot more than it ever has. Let's talk about commission payments a little bit further. And one big question that agents ask is, when do I get paid? So that is a great question. How much do I get paid? Right. So that's good. So let's talk about when you get paid. All right. So every insurance company has a commission calendar, and they may not be released yet, but they will be released. Actually, I'll try and find one for you guys in just a moment. Maybe I can log into UHC and see if I can find one. So you will get paid different payments. It's going to be broken up. So every single time it's going to be broken up into different sections or payments. So right over here, here's your different states, and here's what we're getting paid in 2023. This is from WellCare. So California, New Jersey, $750 for new to MA, Medicare Advantage, new to MA, $678 in CT, PA, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and DC. Okay. And then all other states, 601. So that's a pretty nice chunk of change there. $300, $301 for all of the states. And then Connecticut, Pennsylvania, DC, $339 is your renewal rate, which they call like enrollments. That's called a like kind plan change. Okay. So a like kind plan change is going from one Medicare Advantage plan to another. And then the renewal rate, which is lifetime, right, guys? That's a key figure there for California, New Jersey, $375. Okay. So that's really great. That is awesome. So it's amazing to see that. So when do you get paid, and PDPs as well? So prescription drug plans, I guess I won't skip over it because that's, free money. You're going to run into it every once in a while as well. So $46 per renewal. And these are annual amounts, right? This is an annual amount. That means someone that is effective in January. So if someone is effective in January, you get paid, let's just say in Texas, 301. Okay. Now, what happens in February? What happens if the plan starts in February? Well, you take that $301 and you would just divide that by 12, right? So that's $25 per month is what you're getting paid. So it's a prorated commission, meaning every month it goes down by whatever your state is. So let's just stick with Texas, which is all their states, $301. 301 divided by 12. So in February, it would go down 1 month by $25. There you go. So you would take that 301 minus 5. If it starts in February, okay, I get paid 276 bucks. Well, what about if it starts in March? Well, then that's 301 minus $50. So now I'm going to get paid 251. Okay. So that's what proration of commission means. Now, another thing is, well, when do I get paid on these plans for that I write during AEP? Well, we all know you get paid in January. Everyone knows that. But well, what about the dates? I will tell you, last year I got paid the quickest from United Healthcare. Does that mean write United Healthcare? No, I'm not saying write United Healthcare. Do what's in the client's best interest. Obviously, as you guys know, that's generally the number one carrier depending on your state that you're in, right? They're not in Brunswick, North Carolina. Right? They just don't have a presence there. They only have a D-SNP. They don't have a regular MA plan. So that's good to know as well. Okay, so for you guys, what's really important as well is if you have, okay, if you have a client that starts effective date, or all your clients that you have from what is it, Medicare, January 1st, anything that you write October 15th through December 7th. So during AEP, and you get paid in January, usually you're going to get paid your first chunk of change right here. You're going to pay the renewal rate. You'll get those within usually the first week. Okay. Now, not every company is going to pay as fast, like I said, but usually within the first week, you get the 301. But let's say that they're a new to Medicare client, okay, new to Medicare Advantage, and you get twice the amount of this 301, right? You get 601. They shorted you guys $1, sorry. So you get 601, all right? These are broken up into 2 separate payments. So your first payment will be in the first week. It's going to be 301. And then probably about 1 to 2 weeks later, you're going to get your true up deposits, okay, for anything you wrote during AP. So you're going to get the difference between these two. So it'll be $300 per app, 601 minus what you get paid initially, which is a like kind of plan change. So true up payments are paid separately, okay? And you're going to get 600 and more, or you'll get the difference between the two, $300, which totals that 601. So if you had 10 true ups during AP, it'll take 10 true ups, which is people that are new to Medicare Advantage. We call them true ups. And that'll be 10 times the $300. So you can get $3,000. That's pretty dang awesome. All right. Now, another thing that's really important for you guys is to know is, 1 second, let me text them the link. So another thing that you'll notice as well is our health assessment payments. Okay, so health assessment payments are also paid at a different time. Okay, so those are usually paid once per month. Okay, so if you go to my website, I have the UHC commission calendar on there. So let me see if I have the commission calendar PDF. I can, the only thing I can do is I can pull up the 2022. So let me just screen share real quick with you guys and show you the 2022 PDF over here. Okay, so this is an example of what happened last AEP. Okay, so last AEP, we have, let me zoom in here. We have our payments. So if you look at these different colors and you just match them to the bottom, okay? So January, they released whatever the new agent level was, like what we got paid. Okay, that was actually released way before that, but I guess they have an official release. Okay, so that's like the CMS, how much you get paid. Okay, so now we have our new enrollments. Okay, when is that going to be paid? So like I said, that's the first week right there. So we got paid on the 5th. All right, CMS true ups. So let's say you write a true up in AEP. They say they're going to pay you on the 7th. But if you miss this true up date, okay, of the 7th, you're not going to get paid that true up until February 11th. Okay, and this is 2022. So once they release the one for 2023, you'll see it. All right, MA/PDP renewals. That's the third Monday of every month. So third Monday. Okay. You can, I guess you can kind of ignore the AARP renewal because they lump all mine together personally. So, and I've sold plenty of AARP plans, and then the D-SNPs aren't AARP. All right. So with that said, we now have these payments broken up into three different payments. Your new enrollments, okay, your renewals, your true ups, and then the health assessments are not on here, but it says it somewhere. I forget where it says it, but those pay once a month, I believe. Maybe even like once every 2 months. I ran into it where, it's just like I I don't even it's a bonus to me, right? Like that's what I always say. Just like when I go out in the field and I have appointments for life insurance, it's a bonus to me. It's just extra money. The appointment just gets me in the general vicinity of where I need to be, and then I'm door knocking around it. Um, so for the life insurance side. All right. So the next thing is let's see. And then the next thing was Aetna's true up payment. Oh, I just saw the email from them. I think it's about $70. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I just had it pulled up and I don't know where it is right now. And like I'm not in my home office. So let me go into the questions that everyone's got. So I know there's some questions here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw so I sent the Wednesday call link because I knew I was doing the Medicare call. Dang, sorry guys. I emailed the wrong link, but I posted the right one in the chat. Okay. So true up. So someone asked, what is a true up? What is a true up? Okay, so a true up just means that it's someone that's new to Medicare Advantage. I probably explained it as we were going through it anyway. So they're new to Medicare Advantage. And remember, guys, so this is a big question that I get as well from people. Well, what if I flip someone from one plan? Let's say I flip them from Humana, that they're currently on United Healthcare, but they don't want to leave United Healthcare, and I flip them to Humana, right? Agents always think of that. Well, what if I change them one plan, but then I put them back to the United Healthcare plan? Well, you're not going to become the agent of record. You're not going to get paid a commission. And the reason why is because the plan was not effective. A plan needs to take effect, okay, in order for you to make a plan change. So it's just so if they are still in that plan, it's basically a duplicate application. You're out, right? So you can't just change someone's United Healthcare and then before AEP ends, you flip them back. Now, if you enroll someone during AEP and they don't like the plan, and you explain to them, hey, you have to do the disclosure, right? Yada yada, just be compliant. But you explain to them, hey, I work, you're leaving United Healthcare and you're going to the Humana Dual Special Needs Plan. I work with United Healthcare. In fact, I even have their shirt on today. Okay. So I work with them. So if you want to go back to them, that's fine. You just call me. And during open enrollment period, which is different than AEP, right? Those names, they used to be used synonymously, but I think probably about like 3 or 4 years ago, they brought back, I think it was 2019 or 2020, they brought back OEP, which is open enrollment period. And I don't want to go into the weeds on that, but what it is it's January 1st to March 31st. It's after AEP. People have one opportunity using that election period to make a plan change. So anyone that got changed during AEP that hates what you did, now you can change it back. But yes, you're going to have a chargeback. Okay. So because they advance you basically the commission for the whole year. And not a lot of clients should leave you just in general. But if they did want to leave, that's what can happen. Okay. So that's the only way to really make a change like that. And then Marisa asked a question, if I was to switch an existing client from one plan to another, do I get the renewal too? No. So you're going to get one or the other. So my clients, like I know I went over the Humana plans with you guys, and how some of those are really dominant in some markets, and they're just killer. It's hard to beat. You're sitting down with a client and you're like, hey, let me explain to you the Humana benefits this year. Oh, this one you can use towards rent. Is rent important for you? Yeah. Okay. Well, the other plan that you're on, you can only use it towards, I explain everything, utilities and, what is the other ones? Utilities, over the counter, and food, right? But rent's a big game changer. And what I find a lot too is that these clients, a lot of the clients, get food stamps when they're on Medicaid. So they might already get $150 in food stamps, and they're just one person. And they're like, I don't need that much money in food. Okay. Would you like money towards rent? And most of the time that I've seen so far, most of the time, it's going to be less than United Healthcare. So far, what I've seen, right? It could be more in your area. I don't know. But from the plans I've been looking at so far all across the country with agents that I've been speaking to all day and over this weekend when I was looking at them, is that Humana's benefits are less than that of United Healthcare so far. But in your territory, like I said, it depends. It changes per county. They're less, but there's more value to them, right? It's what provides the most value to the clients is what enables you to make a sale. Okay. So when you explain everything properly to them, they're like, yeah, I get food stamps. I already get 120 bucks a month for that. I don't really need that. Okay. Well, do you need money towards rent? Yes. Okay, great. Does $75 per month help you? Yes. Great. Here's the other things that you can use it towards. That is a huge value prop for the client, right? So, it's kind of like a give back too. So so I actually answered Nick's question right there. Daryl, I would like to unmute you if possible. And if you and I could kind of go over your current, let me see. I'm gonna put Lynn, I'm gonna put the number for Sunfire. I actually just got a phone number for Sunfire into the chat right now for everyone. Or if you guys are driving or if you want to write it down, it's 855-949-6337, and they can help you with tech support. So I got a number for them now. So that is for Sunfire, everyone, just so you know. So if you're running into any issues, they gave me a phone number for people because I know everyone's trying to set up numbers, and we'll get into Sunfire here in just a moment. But Daryl, if you want to unmute, you don't have to. I could keep on rolling. And let me see here. Okay, there you are. So I appreciate you as always, Daryl. Can you tell me so far, because I know you and I were talking about it already, and we can compliantly market plans. Everything we're doing is compliant. All right, enough said. So we're compliant, right, Daryl? So can you tell me, you've done AEP you've done a couple of AEPs. You're great with Medicare. You know a lot about it. You're highly educated in Medicare. Let me ask you a question. For you, what has your experience been so far with the leads? Short stay so far, but what do you think?
Well, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by the quality of the lead. So I'm getting 20 per week. I know some guys are probably getting more. And you said that I was the expert. I'm pretty good at Medicare, but there's a lot of people going to run circles around me on final expense. So I hit the field on Saturday morning, was knocking my first Medicare lead at 10 o'clock. And I showed them the card quick enough for them to see Medicare Savings Program. And I'm with the Oklahoma Benefit Center, and I am I'm the Medicare advisor for the county. So however you want to name that, it's completely up to you. They can't get the door open fast enough in inviting me in. So it's kind of a nice change because I was talking to my builder, Cole McCoy, and I'm going to be running final expense leads Monday through Thursday and running my Medicare leads on Friday, Saturday. I have a Sunday to get caught up, but that's kind of my schedule. But I had a lady in a nearby county. She actually called two of her neighbors over. So I'm sitting on her front porch. She picks up her cell phone and she calls two neighbors over to talk with me while I'm there. And when we start talking about it, it was just amazing. The Medicare Savings Program, if we're trying to help them with extra help, by the way, gang, find a link. Holden, maybe if you can post a link for LIS enrollment, actually do this for them in the field. I've got a gentleman here in Oklahoma City that I'm training that went to go see somebody today on an FE lead, and they pivoted to Medicare before he left. And the reason that he chose to go with our rep is because the other guy didn't know how to sign him up for LIS and was recommending that they go to the local Social Security office. This is a 5-minute filling out a form. It does require a signature, and you're going to get kudos and props by your new client. And you've also created your own SEP. Now let me get back to the leads. I'm so sorry. Hold on, I got off on a tangent.
You keep rolling. I love it.
I'm so excited about this.
Yes.
And so the leads, so I probably knocked 8 doors on Saturday on leads. And for the ones that actually I found at home, there was not a single one that said that I'm not interested. Not a one. Everybody invited me in. Everybody was happy to, and I'm also bold enough to get referrals. Who else do you know that you love and respect enough that they need to speak with me? This is their opportunity. Holden just laid out for you, for all of us, the money that can be made during AEP. It's no joke. For you to come away from AEP with a check in January for 20, 30 grand, that's not a stretch. So do the homework, back that through what Holden was just telling you. Again, let me get back to Lee's. I'm so sorry. But
No. I'm serious. Please, like, keep going. Like, I want you to explain all this stuff. I love your perspective. Please.
So somebody that I was talking to was asking me, why did I already hit the streets with my Medicare leads? Well, here's the reason why. So remember, that we're not the only people that they're talking to. They've been talking to reps throughout the year. They've talked to final expense reps. They talk to Medicare reps. I'm trying to beat the competition to the punch. And what I'm in my conversation, I'm so I'm so specific and so intentional on trying to close the competition out that I don't ever want anybody to come in behind me. Holden said just a second ago, they can make multiple choices during AEP. They can make one more choice during OEP. We'll talk about OEP another day. Let's focus on AEP. So they can make choices, but I want to shut down all of the call centers. I want to shut down every other rep that may come to their door that grab their information somewhere throughout the calendar year of this year. And there's a very unique way to do that. And I want to go back to a conversation that Holden had with us some time ago, and that was how to make sure that you're protecting not only your interest, but more so the interest of the Medicare member. Remember that when they give that Medicare ID number out, that's like giving out your social when it comes to your credit. This is like their social for their health insurance. And so I'm not trying to say scare them, but be realistic with them. There have been call centers that have got the MBI number, the Medicare beneficiary number, and have slammed in and made a change that was not in the interest of the Medicare member. They're not checking their PCPs, they're not checking their specialists, they're not checking their dentists, they're not even checking their hospitals. So they don't care, they're just trying to make a sale, hoping that it sticks. That's not how we do things. But be very intentional when you're talking to people to close out the competition, close the door. And so this gentleman that I was walking through the sale earlier today, he went ahead and got his sale. He used the LIS because he enrolled him. He was not making the income that he could, or his income was low enough that he qualified for extra help for LIS. He took the app, used the LIS SEP code, went ahead and enrolled him for 11/1 effective, didn't wait for AEP. And then he had another rep coming in on Saturday. He's not letting the rep in. So my guy called me and I did a Medicare validation call. And I praised, of course, my rep that was there and just did a phenomenal job. But when that rep shows up on Saturday, he's not getting in the door. There's no way. So these Medicare leads are just amazing. And again, why would you wait until 10/15 when you can start working all of your leads now and close out the competition, be the first one there and be the last one there? That's the goal, right? So don't be thinking that they don't have other reps that they've talked to, because they have. So and I'm just kind of rambling. I hope I'm making some sense to you, but I'm so excited about these leads. They're actually a much better quality of a lead than I thought they would be, and I went very optimistic. But I'm just pumped about it. So this is going to be so good.
Sometimes the proof is in the pudding, and so I took some notes while you were talking here, and I think I got some really good notes that I'll kind of unpack a little bit more. And I really appreciate you kind of going over the stuff. So let's kind of go into some of the stuff that he said. So door knocking these leads, yes, you can door knock a Medicare supplement lead. Okay, so Medicare supplement leads you can door knock. This is the way that these are treated. So if it says Medicare Advantage, if it's a Medicare Advantage lead, you're not supposed to door knock those, right? We're not treating these. You guys get the point, right? Okay. So Medicare supplement leads you're allowed to door knock. So if it doesn't say Medicare Advantage on it specifically, you're good to go. So let me see over here. All right, next thing, referrals. So referrals are a huge thing. Asking for referrals. I get phone calls all the time of people referring their friends, their family to me to do stuff. I just helped a lady disenroll today from TRS, which is an employer plan. And she had called me from a referral whose husband I had put in a Humana plan last AEP, who doesn't need to make a change this year. And she had called me and she's like, hey, I want to stay with United Healthcare, but I'm tired of paying this money. And my cousin told me to call you, right? So that's really, really interesting. And it's really, really great for us as agents to get those referrals. So I get them inbound all the time, right? But if you ask for referrals, you'll heavily stimulate your business, right? So I just get them by default. You'll get that. I mean, you guys will see, just like it, referrals with Medicare are tenfold of what they are with life insurance, tenfold. You're just going to get so many. You'll get them organically, naturally, just by doing a great job, by being a good person, by being ethical, doing the right thing by the client, right? And helping them out. It's organically going to happen. You're going to get those inbound calls. But while you're there, you can ask and help them out as best as you possibly can. He also says that, Daryl, by the way, when I'm talking about this, I'm looking at my notes. He also said that, there's certain days that he allocates just towards Medicare and hammering these, right? That's a big thing, right? But you have to maintain cash flow. This is a business model that needs to bring in revenue, and you got to pay your bills, right? So we know final expense is that short-term cash flow to pay our bills, right? On a monthly basis. And then we have our Medicare, which is our long-term vision cash flow. That's going to guarantee me safety and security into the future, right? No stress. The next, coronavirus hits. Well, we're all living the dream because we're getting thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars from this stuff. Okay. Coming in. So I'm over the six figures in renewal-based income. And that's a blessing. It really is. It's a huge game changer. It takes a lot of the daily stressors off of you in life. And for me personally, it didn't come without hard work. I mean, I'll tell you, the people that have a 9-to-5 job, they got it made, right? They got a guaranteed check all the time, right? They don't got to worry about nothing. 9 to 5, they're done it, right? We work way more than them as entrepreneurs. We work later hours, earlier mornings, and that's the beauty of this business. But at any time, my sister's having her baby 4 weeks early, I can get on a plane, I can come here and help out, right? That's the blessing of being an entrepreneur. I don't have paid time off. I don't have to worry about that or putting it in with the boss, right? I take it. The bank account's the boss and the wife. Another thing that he said too was closing the competition out, right? And that's why I've been doing this stuff every single week. Since I started these calls, I've been telling you guys, it's like, hey, get in front of these people, start with these people. And Daryl's doing it right? He's the first person there. So if you're the first person there and you really take care of these clients and you say the right things that we rehearse on these calls, you're fine. Like, you'll put this person in the best situation and then they're done. The reality is they want to get this stuff done quick. They don't want to take 100 phone calls, be on the phone for 3 hours, right, with a rep. And if there's pain associated with the buying process is why people don't buy. A lot of people probably get a new car every single year if you could walk in and out and get it in 2 minutes, right? Well, there's other factors, but you get the point, right? We don't like pain with the buying process. So what he was just talking about is huge. So closing the competition out, getting there before the other people, being the first in to ensure that you are the last out. Okay, so that's really, really crucial. Let's go to the next one. So these are called BRCs. These are business reply cards. Okay, this is your permission to contact them. So this is an inbound lead that they're sending to us requesting information. This is your permission to call them, door knock them, get on the phone with them. Okay, so this is your BRC. It's a business reply card. That's your permission right there to do it. The next question is, can you sell these over the phone? I'm a face-to-face guy, but I've been doing this for quite some time and have a good sized book of business I can cross sell. Absolutely. You can absolutely sell over the phone 100%. That's not a problem at all. You can do that. Most definitely. You got to market to your clients. You're allowed to compliantly market non-health related and non-life related products to your clients. You spent the money, right? You're the one that took time to acquire the lead. You're allowed to do it. There's CMS requirements that you have to follow by. So Donnie, you and I can get with it. I know everyone else on the call. I'm not going to go into those. We did a requirement call for CMS, so you got to record them. And that is something that's new, and it's new to Sunfire, and there's ways to set it up. So I will be updating my video so you guys have it, so you know how to do it. But I also posted that number. If you scroll up in the group chat, it's the 855 949 6337. Okay, so if you get stuck on Sunfire, setting up that number and stuff like that, and you want to play around with it and everything, that's the number for Sunfire direct contact. So Donnie, it's not a dumb question, man. You're learning it. You're getting to do it. And yeah, Daryl just said it too in the chat as well. If this person is your existing client, you don't need a business reply card. I can call any one of my clients I want at any point in time. I can talk to my clients. So yes, so that's good. Now let's go to the next thing here that I want to touch on. There's a lot that I wanted to touch on as well, because I know this is very, very important. So, bear with me, guys, as I go through this stuff. Let's get to, I'm going to do the LIS link before I get to the employer stuff and before I get to Sunfire. Okay. So let's X out of these two. I'm going to share screen with you guys real quick and show you. And remember, if you haven't taken time to go on my website and look at all this stuff, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? I want to work with the best agents in the country, right? I want to work with the people that do the most amount of work to become successful, because proper planning prevents poor performance. There's another P in there. You guys know what it is, right? So we don't want to have poor performance. So you got to plan this stuff out properly. And the way to do that is use the tools and the resources in front of you. What did Scott Bryan say in the group chat, guys? He said his Humana rep gave him $1,400. Do you know why? Because he called him and asked. He followed the advice that I gave him on this call. Called him at $1,400 towards marketing. And he lives, he's West Texas. Tom Green, San Angelo. Right. So that local rep gave money because they're like, hey, you're selling this stuff. You're doing a great job. And we want to reward those agents. So they're going to you get a commission, you get a health assessment, quasi bonus, and you get marketing dollars from the local reps, and you get marketing dollars from us. Stupid. It doesn't make sense. So that's really, really important for you guys. Okay. Now, on my website, we're going to do a brief walkthrough of it. So let me go ahead and log in real quick. So we'll log in. I'm on my laptop, obviously, as you guys know. So I'm not on the road here. I'm just going to log in real quick. And so, yeah, so you just go to the Medicare Wednesday call, Zoom, and it's got the different sections over here where you can just go to the drop down. So we'll go to Intro to Medicare. Okay. Beginning steps to sell. Okay. So, click that, look at it, intro to the training, all that jazz. Okay. And then you could just go ahead and go to the next section here. And then here is your key stuff. Medicare worksheet, I updated it. So please download that. Okay. I slimmed it down. I know people are telling me, hey, it's a little long, right? But there's a lot of information that we want to have and retain for our clients. So this Medicare worksheet, I slimmed it down. It's only 2 pages now. So, fill that stuff out. Okay. Fill that stuff out. And make sure that you're doing it in every single home there. Let me wait for this to drop down so I can do it. Okay, cool. Here's your election period cheat sheet, your Medicare savings program, MSP eligibility chart. That's what Daryl was just talking about. Medicare savings program, the eligibility chart to figure out who qualifies. Part D/LIS chart. I'm not going to click them. You guys watch the first video on my website in the portal training is literally website overview. Here's the LIS extra help. Here's your link to get there for Social Security. It's right on my website. Everything is there. It's centralized in one location. So if you're not doing this stuff, you're not reviewing it. Like I said, you're doing yourself a disservice. All right, so that is the section for Medicare parts and program. And then we got our Medicare sales training here, guys. Okay. I put the Medicare worksheet again there. I put the steps to sell and beginner steps to sell again. And I have 12 different case studies for y'all to review. All right. So that's my website over there for that. Now, what I want to talk about real quick before I get into Sunfire is the importance of understanding a couple different things. So one of those things is employer plans. But before I do that, I want to tell you a note real quick of the election period that you can use. So you can't use dual slash LIS election period during AEP. It's out. Don't let you use it anymore. But you can use a 5-star. If you have a natural disaster come to your area, you can use those. You can get with your local rep to see, what they can help you as well. You can call the producer help desk and they'll tell you. But there's certain election periods, if someone's new to Medicare, you can use that. But during AEP, the one that you're using, the election period is literally labeled AEP, annual enrollment period. And you can't see it now because we're at 10-3, but in 12 days when the gates open, you'll see it. It's the first one is to say AEP and that's it. Boom. That's the only one that you're going to be using. Okay. So unless someone's new to Medicare, I got this guy, he's a true up and he is January 2023. So luckily I got the plans and I can, talk to the clients and go over the stuff with them and say, hey, here's the best plan for you for this coming year. You're new to Medicare and this is what you wanted out of a health plan based on everything you told me. And I found the right one. Okay, great. So that's very, very important as well. So a true up is going to be, different. That's really the only time that you'll be using something else. So use AEP and get paid the full boat commission. All right. So now let's go back to the web browser here. Actually, let's stop that out because you guys will get distracted if I talk about employer plans. All right, so employer plans. So let me pull up the email. So we all know what an employer plan is and how they work. All right, so here's kind of the thing. So I remember I was telling you guys about TRS and TRS in Texas. It's Teachers Retirement System. Those are plans, and I see these all the time. I see them in New Jersey when I'm working with Megan. Right. I see him with Scott, who just ran into him, and he's in West Texas, right? I'm in what we call North Texas. So I see him over by me. They're everywhere. These are former employer plans. Some of them can be federal. Okay, come from the federal government. It can come from the county. It can, or city rather, can come from the state. It could come from the county too. Could come from Ford, General Motors, right? It could come from their former employer. Okay, so former employer plans at all different levels, private sector or the government sector, federal or states. So one thing that you'll notice is these are these are a majority of times, we'll look at them, of course, to be very clear so we understand them. They're Medicare Advantage plans. Literally, you will say it on the card. TRS, Teacher Retirement, it literally says Medicare Advantage plan. And the lady that called me earlier today, that was, I get referrals from clients all the time. So, she was talking about her TRS, her Teachers Retirement System, when she had called, and she was telling me about that. And she was telling me that TRS in Texas is going from United Healthcare to Blue Cross Blue Shield. She said, I don't want to go to them. She said it's going up to $200 from like $125, somewhere in that ballpark. I don't remember the exact amount. But I want you to keep in mind, guys, the premiums of Medicare Advantage plans have only gone down one way. Most health insurance plan premiums only go one way, up. So the cost of these Medicare Advantage plans goes up every year. So initially, what I would always tell people some years back was, don't mess around with the employer plans. Now I'm singing a different tune. Why? Because the benefits of Medicare Advantage plans that we sell, okay, not the employer ones, go up every single year. The cost on everything has gone down every single year, and they're no longer paying a premium. Most of the time, they're in a zero premium plan. So now for this lady, I just freed her up $125 per month. As Daryl just said before, do you think that lady is opening the door for another rep? No, it's not going to happen. Okay. So the benefits are nearly the same. But this is what I was talking about with Scott earlier. And he was like, yeah, he said he looked at some TRS plans over in his area. And he was like, yeah, I can't beat it. All right. So I asked him the question. I'm like, okay, 125 per month. Let's just say it's $1,800 to use a round number for the sake of this call. Right. So the math is easier. The questions I always ask, as I talk to people, are you going to even incur $1,800 in medical bills a year? Right. That's separate from your prescription drugs. That's separate from your Part B premium. Right. $1,800. Are you going to incur that? I don't know. I would venture to say for most of our clients that they are going to win because their TRS plan still has a maximum out of pocket anyways. I would venture to say that most of these people are probably going to win and not have $1,800 in medical bills in a year. And if they have $1,800 in medical bills in a year, it doesn't really matter what Advantage plan they're on because the benefits are pretty much similar, if not better, with the Medicare Advantage plans. But hypothetically, even if they were a little bit better with the plan they're paying a premium for, $125 a month or $1,800 a year can well justify them being switched from an employer plan to a Medicare Advantage plan. Absolutely. And sometimes it's more. I've seen couples jointly paying $450 a month for a Medicare Advantage plan through their former employer. I'm like, what? And it doesn't make sense. And I pull up, I go online, I Google it, I try and find as much information as I can, and it just doesn't make sense most of the time. Now, one caveat that you guys will have to kind of pay attention to here is that sometimes they don't have a Part B premium because they don't need it to get into an employer plan that they currently have. They don't need to have the Part B. Part A is free for most people, so they don't need to have it. Okay, well, in that case, it's what it is you have to justify the cost. Okay, and what I mean by that is just a simple math problem. Does it cost less money, okay, to have a $0, zero premium Medicare Advantage plan with a Part B premium of $170.10 that's going down to $164, right? Is that cost less than the cost of your current employer plan? Yeah, my current employer plan is $250. Okay, so Medicare Advantage with Part B, it's going to be 2023 is $164. So with that said, what do we now know? We now know that let's say it was $250, we just saved that lady about $86 a month. That's a lot of money. And the benefits are very similar. Okay. So it just becomes a simple math problem, right? And you don't have to sell them. You just have to provide people with the facts. That's all it is. The facts. Okay. So that's one thing. Every year, Medicare Advantage plans get better and the costs are going down. That's a huge thing. So keep that in the back of your mind when we're talking about this stuff. And there's generally not a major or dramatic difference in cost less benefits between the employer plans and the Medicare Advantage plans. In fact, I've seen better benefits with Medicare Advantage plans. All right, so let's go to plans leaving the area was a question I got. It's like, hey, dude, I'm looking at these plans from 2023, 2022 that this client's in, and they're not in this plan for 2023. The plan doesn't exist anymore. What do I do? Well, great news for you is you get to enroll in another plan. And now anytime you sit down with someone that's in that plan, you now can educate them. Hey, just so you know, this plan is not available in the area next year. They discontinued it. But good news is this company, the same company, Aetna, hypothetically, right, has another plan that you can enroll in. But they got rid of that plan. So great news. And now for you as the agent, you could become the agent of record. Plans leaving the air. Sometimes plans get discontinued, and you see that by looking at Sunfire. Okay. Let me screen share actually, so we can go into this. So let's go into Sunfire real quick. I want to show you some of the mistakes that I made today and some stuff that I think that all of y'all should be doing. All right. So I was in wherever zip code this is, 75201 today that I was looking at. Okay. And that's somewhere in Texas. All right. So with that said, I made some errors today. I was pulling up some plans that I didn't even change the plan year a couple of times, right? I forgot to do it, right? I just made a mistake and I was just like, I was looking at the plans and everything and I knew to do it, but I just forgot to a couple of times when I was looking at them, probably like 8-10 calls come in a day. And then sometimes, it's like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, dang, I'm reading the summary benefit. I was like, wait, that is not the right year because it's way too low. Humana's Dental is not, $2,000 next year for this plan. It was like something crazy, like $5,000. It went from 2,000 to 5,000. I was just like blown away. I'm like, whoa, that is just insane. So that's one mistake that I make. Okay, now let me look at some other stuff that I want to show you guys. Sunfire they didn't update what they show in terms of benefits A to Z. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by that. So you guys can see, is this Liberty? The Liberty, yeah, Liberty Nurture. And then let me get my Humana Gold Plus. Unfortunately, there's two, and I can't see the plan number. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just walk through it. Can I minimize this? Sorry, I just want you guys to be able to see the screen here. All right, so this is 031. All right, so what I want you to see here, okay, is that, let me see, there's some questions in the chat real quick. All right, so now I want to scroll down and UHC, WellCare, Humana. So UHC is on the left, WellCare is in the center, and Humana is on the right. Okay. So now when I scroll through this stuff, if I just hit Control F and I look for utilities, right, nothing comes up. If I type in pet care, nothing comes up. If I type in food, nothing comes up. Okay. So what I need you guys to do is I need you to make sure that you're looking at the summary of benefits for these plans. Okay. So what is the summary of benefits? We all know what the summary of benefits is. One thing that I found out real quick before I go into the summary of benefits, you know what I did earlier today is I went in and you click the little customer profile here, and then you scroll up and you can put in there the customer lookup. And when you do the customer lookup, it says right here, type in their Medicare number, their DOB, and their zip code. And then what it does is it actually refreshes everything. Okay. So what happened there is that I I lost all the doctors and all the medications I put in the plan by doing the customer lookup. So I had to do it again, which this one actually just reset on me too. So that was unfortunate. And it's like starting a new one. So I don't know why. So just be aware of that. Don't put in any doctors and meds until you do the customer lookup, I guess. It's always going to be a learning curve. So whenever they roll out new tools. So let's get back into the special needs plan. I really need to point out these key things while I'm thinking about it as I go through it. Okay, because that's really, really crucial. Yeah, let's go to this Liberty Nurture here. We had Unite Healthcare in the center actually, so let's go to the UHC there in the center, and let's go back to our Liberty Nurture on the right hand side. All right. So I think that's the way I had it labeled last time. Nope, it's actually wrong. UHC was on the left, but okay, Humana is now on the left. UHC is now in the center, and WellCare is now on the right. Real quick, Humana had another plan, so I'm just going to look at Humana's other plan and see. I think they had two of them. They had the 032 and 031. This is the thing. So, for all those that are in Milwaukee right now, you can kind of see that it's like there's 4 United Healthcare plans in that area. So what I do, one of the key things is I just type in, since it's alphabetical, I just literally type in over dash the, which is going to bring me the over the counter one. And then I can instantly tell which one's going to be, a little bit more rich in benefits. That's one thing. I'll type in dental. That's going to bring it up. This is 4,000 in dental. So this is the plan that ends in 031. So now when I'm doing the comparison and I'm looking at it, and there's 4 WellCare plans, 2 UHC plans. Now all I do here is, I'm going to go in as well, and I'm going to see with this plan. So this Humana plan with the 2,000 here, that's not the best Humana plan in terms of benefits, right? So I'm going to get rid of that one, and I'm going to go add in the 031, which is this one right in front of me. So now I got the hottest of the hottest plans. The other ones I know personally from experience. We got a 5-star here. So let's walk down through this. Okay. Remember, guys, the maximum out of pocket doesn't matter at all. Okay. And the reason why I say that the maximum out of pocket doesn't matter is because these are for people that are dual eligible. Okay. So let me give you guys what I say to clients that are dual eligible, because I think this is really important and the way to explain it without offending them. One time on one of the calls, Daryl said that and like it hit me. I was like, dang, you were so right. Right. You don't want to say something. You don't want to say, oh, these plans are designed for people that are broke, right? Without saying it. Right. So what I say is I explain stuff. I want to explain it to them like I would explain it to my son, right? A 2-year-old, right? And not in like a condescending way at all, but I don't want it to be filled with confusing lingo. I don't want you to use big words, right? I don't want to use big words. I don't want to say maximum out of pocket or once you go into your coverage or your catastrophic coverage or your coverage gap, a deductible, right? I don't want to say things that can confuse people. I want to explain those things in a very simplistic manner because confused agents don't sell, right? And confused clients don't buy. It's as simple as that. So we want to keep it really, really simple, which is exactly why I built a website with all those trainings, which is exactly why, I do these calls. Okay. So it's very, very important to understand that stuff. So when we're looking at these numbers over here, Okay. In network, maximum out of pocket, that doesn't matter because they're on what? They're dual eligible. So I tell them, hey, so sometimes you'll even find that people are on a plan just for people with Medicare. They're literally just on a plan for people just with Medicare. And it blows my mind because they have both, right? I'm like, you have both Medicare and Medicaid. You're on a plan just for people with Medicare, where there's a plan literally designed for people on both Medicare and Medicaid. And what they call that plan is they call it a dual plan. Okay, it's dual eligible. And it's for people that's on Medicare and Medicaid. And if you ever forget the difference, okay, just remember the name. The name is Medicare, which is healthcare that's offered by the federal government. And then we have Medicaid, which is financial aid for your healthcare, right? So instead of you getting a bill, Medicare, right? Then from a bill from Medicare, your Medicaid, which is your financial aid for your healthcare, pays that bill. So you don't have to pay anything. And right now, you're in a plan designed for people that are just on Medicare. That's it. But there's a plan designed for people that have both. That's great news. So, and every year they make changes to these plans. So some years there's no changes, and I sit down with people and I tell them, hey, you're in a great plan. I don't think you should change, but here's the other options that you have available to you, right? Even if I'm not their agent, I'd rather just be honest. And then they could, and they like me and then they can give referrals. I think that's a great thing, right? Honesty goes a long way, just doing the right thing with the client, right? It'll happen all the time and they don't even know who their agent is anyways. The person probably failed out of the business because they don't, do their homework, right? They don't do the work that it takes. All right, so let's look at this stuff. All right, so let's go through it. So we just went through the fact that there doesn't say utility in here, and you're like, wait, on your last call, you literally just told me that Humana pays for utilities, United Healthcare pays for utilities, right? You literally just told me this stuff. You literally just told me on the last call that Humana has pet supplies, but when you type in pet, nothing shows up, not even a pet scan, right? So what's the issue here? Okay, well, I would just say that Sunfire didn't update it. Okay, that's it. So what do we do though, right? I don't care about problems, I care about solutions. I simply scroll all the way to the bottom where it says plan documents, links to plan documents. All that I do was, I think Humana's on the far right, but I could be wrong. Bingo. All right, so we got Humana. And this one, it says summary of benefits for 2022. So let me double check to make sure that I changed the plan year, which I literally just told you guys that I have done many times. Because anytime, yep. So anytime you hit the back button, it's defaulting to 2023, just so you guys know. Okay. I'm sorry, it's defaulting back to 2022. So even you guys saw me hit the button before to go to 2023, and then it went back and I'm like, wait, no, because then I go back into it. So I that's just a mistake that I'm making. So you guys just be aware of that. And Jason, I saw you ask a question before for your Medicare. Your Medicare LLC, yeah, they're upline, which is AmeriLife. And I didn't know what question you're asking for what service to use. So if you could post that or text me so I know. All right, so now we're back in. Oh, you know what? Another thing is, guys, right now, this time of year before October 15th hits, you can't enroll. See this enroll button? It's grayscaled green, okay, meaning that you can't click it. But it's there because I could enroll someone in this plan as soon as it's active, meaning that I'm certified to sell with this company. Okay. Now, so let me give you an example of a company I'm not certified to sell with. And let's see if there's, so I'm going to uncheck the box appointed only. And I don't know what area this is, but it says I'm not certified with Cigna, but that's a Texas zip code. So that's an issue. All right. So see how it doesn't have a green enroll button? Okay. So now when I go back to these other ones and I hit compare, there's a green enroll button that's grayscale. So that's how I know it's the 2023 plan as of right now. All right, great. So I can't hit the enroll button. That's how I know, and just make sure you're not making the same mistake that I am. All right, so we're going to scroll all the way down here. So maybe it does say food over here. So let's check this out. Let's see if this one says food now. No, sorry, 1 second, y'all. Control F. I hit Control T on accident. All right, so we're going to type in food on this one. Let's see if it updates. It did not, so it's not on here. So they didn't adjust it. I'll get with them. I think it might be a little difficult to do it. All right, so summary of benefits. That's what I'm going to click. Okay. So now it says 2023 top right hand corner. All right. So I think Ryan actually ran into that as well today. He was like, wait, it says 2022. I'm like, go to the company's website direct to get it, I guess. So that's the only way to do it. So you can get these summary benefits, of course, direct from the company's website. All right. So what I want to do here is I just want to type in rent. Okay. So on this one, it says $50 automatically loaded on a prepaid card every month to use towards food, OTC, home supplies. Um, the food may also be used for transportation, such as rent, separately, general support such as rent, assistance, internet and utilities, social needs, pest control, and pet care. Unused amount expires at the end of the month. I have seen different plans, and it says unused amounts on some Humana plans rolls over, some doesn't. Okay. So that's where I just got that number from. All right. So if I go back here and I scroll up and I look at over the counter, okay, OTC here. If I look at over the counter, I literally just passed it, which is why I use Control F feature. It says N/A, nothing. What do you mean it has nothing? You just did a whole call last week and gave me a whole sales pitch on this stuff. Okay, that's why I'm pulling up the summary benefits to look at this stuff. And then once you get well versed with it, it's fine because it's got all the other information. It's got the dental, it's got the vision, right? It's got all of that stuff. So I'm just showing you some mistakes that I'm making right now. Okay. And if you're having issues setting up your phone number and stuff, please call that number that I put in the group chat as well, and they'll help you set up your phone number. So yeah, so we're looking at our vision, our dental, all that stuff is in there. So, but to find more detail about that, that's exactly where you're going to go. Okay. Now let's go into the United Healthcare one. All right. So this is summary benefits for UHC. Let's type in rent. There's no rent. Okay. Now let's type in utility. So utility comes up here. Okay. So this is $150 credit every single month for groceries, OTC, and utility benefits. So it's a give and a take, right? It's like, hey, if you want to use something towards rent, we'll give you $50 a month that you can use towards that on a prepaid MasterCard. And then United Healthcare, we're going to give you a prepaid Visa card. So, and this is $150 a month. I mean, to me, yeah, if you're going to pay utilities, but sometimes in their rent, the utilities are all included. So they may not have a separate utility bill. Or maybe they get $150 in food stamps. They don't need more money towards groceries, right? So maybe the $50 towards rent, that makes a difference. Got to get to know your client. Hey, that's actually one of the trainings, guys. Know your client. Keep in mind, with Humana, it's a $0 copay on all drugs. All right. All drugs. Yes, all drugs. As long as it's on the formulary. I wonder if I clicked the wrong Humana plan again. Because there's no way that one's that poor in benefits relative to the other one. So we're looking at 028-031. Let's look at this other Humana plan. Let's see if there's other ones. But yeah, so you're going to see, guys, right? It's just a pitch. Maybe they made 032 the better plan this year. How crazy would that be? That they made the plan that was better last year, and then this year it's they flipped it to the other one being better. That'd be great for you sales agents, I'll tell you that much, because you'd be flipping people from one plan to another. So let's Control F again. Let's look at food. Yeah, wow. Okay, this is crazy. Whose zip code is this? Whose zip code is this, guys? 75201. Whose zip code is this? This is my zip code. What the heck? What part of Dallas is that? Okay. Yeah. Oh, actually, I know exactly where that is. All right. So this is for me in Dallas, guys. This is crazy. They literally took the 031 plan, which last year was the plan that was more rich in benefits, and then they made the plan that is 032 better this year. And I'm not going out in the field selling. Guys, this is why you got to look at the 2022, right? You got to check this stuff out, right? I already looked at it. I already knew the plans in the area. That's insane to me. I'm going to be going out there selling the 031. They don't like, I don't want to change companies. I love my company. Great. Here's what Humana did this year. We're going to get this plan updated for you. 2023 benefits. Here's how rich they are. Easiest sell you ever had in your life. Okay. So yeah, every area is different. For sure, Jason. Yeah, you're right about that. So okay, so let's see. Those are all my summary benefits there. Who's got some questions on some stuff? I'm trying to see if there's other stuff that I might have made some mistakes with. Let's go over the CMS rules real quick. Again, CMS rules from the way that the carriers wrote it is that the call centers are what has caused the most harm to the clients. Okay. So the call centers have hurt our clients the worst. People just calling them, enrolling them in plans, and they don't even care. They don't check doctors, formularies, but they have a quarterly goal, an AEP goal that they have to hit if they want to maintain employment for OEP. Because what happens during AEP is there's mass hires and then mass layoffs. Get the check while you can, right? They're not like us. Those people that are selling over the phone get an hourly rate. They don't own their book. It's gone. That's it. You sell for someone else and then you're done. Right. So that's obviously not great, but you have to understand the competitor and why the rules came out to say, hey, these people are ripping people off. It's not you face to face, people. We ain't getting complaints about you guys, right? We're getting complaints about people that are selling it over the phone and not even caring about the client, about the senior, who's already the demographic that's taken advantage of the most. So you got to do what's in the best interest of it. So I think it's really, really important for you guys to understand. So use the tools, please. Use the resources that are in front of you. I know we ran a little late today. I sent out the wrong link to people on accident, but this is recorded. I'll chop it on up once I get back to Texas, and I'll make sure it's fully edited for everyone so I can send this out later this week. All right. So with that said, who's got some questions for us? And I will scroll through this one more time to see if I missed anything, guys. So I'll scroll through all this stuff. So apologies for everyone for sending out the wrong link. You know what? Hey, if everyone could in the group chat real quick, I'd like some accountability. So if we could do some accountability, if you can take time to send me an email with the amount of applications you're going to write during AEP, right? And this is how I know who's serious and not serious. Okay, take time to send me an email of how many apps you're going to write during AEP. And then in that same email, tell me how much money that's going to get deposited in your bank account. So it's like, hey, here's my goal. Here's everyone wants to write 200 apps, but give me a realistic goal. I want an accountability with you. I know you want to write 200 apps. I know you want to get 60 plus $1,000. Actually, when you write 200 apps, it's probably closer to 75 grand with all the health assessments and the true ups. Golly, right? It'd be close to 75 grand. So send me an email. Send me an accountability email. I want you to do that. And all right, so who's got some questions for me? You got questions, comments, concerns? Did I miss anything? Did I make some mistakes? I'm trying to make as many mistakes now before the gates open so I can get better at this stuff and guide you guys. I'm trying to click the buttons, play around with the software, go through the case studies. I got to revamp my training now, right? I know I have to go in and redo the how you get paid section of my training. I know that, right? I know there's a lot of stuff I got to redo for 2023 benefits. I got to reshoot the LAS video, the extra help video. I got to reshoot the Medicare savings program videos once I get the numbers for some of these because they change every year. Oh, another huge note, guys. Please, please, please make sure you are telling clients about the decreases in Medicare cost. Make sure you're telling about them. Hey, your Part B premium's going down from 170.10. It was 164 and change. I emailed it to you guys, like 164.35. And so your Part B premium's going down. And in addition to that, the deductible, which doesn't really matter, Part B deductible, if they're on a Medicare Advantage plan, it doesn't apply to them. That's going down too. So that's great as well. So that's going down. I think it's about $6-7. You know, I sent it out in the email. So take a look at the email to that's gospel, not what I'm saying right now. I could be wrong by a couple dollars, but all right. So in addition to that, you have to tell them about the COLA. If you don't know what a COLA is, you're an uninformed agent. COLA is cost of living adjustment. That is adjusting the seniors' Social Security based on inflation. It's a living adjustment. Okay. So that's going to be about 8 to 10% is the numbers I was reading online. Now, I don't want to lie to someone, but last year they got 5.9%. Most seniors I sat with rounded it up to 6%. That's what they told me. Right. So if they got another 6% again this year, that would be what? A tenth of what inflation actually is. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if it's 60%, but it's pretty dang high. You guys know that. It ain't as low as we think. But yeah, even if it was 6%, do the math for them. You're sitting down with them, right? So just take out your calculator. Oh, you said your monthly Social Security check is $1,500. Okay, so you're gonna get $1,500 monthly right now times 1.06. Now you're gonna get $1,590, and that Part B premium that you're paying is gonna go down by, what did I say, 164? So about $6, $7, whatever it goes down to, right? So let's add in another $6 a month. Now you're going to get 1,596 from $1,500. You're going to get close to around $100, a little bit less than that, but close to $100 a month. Do you want life insurance? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I think you guys get the point. So make sure that you're helping them out, and you're marketing those non-health related products to your client. If you're calling me, you're talking to me, I'm talking about hospital indemnity every single call, every single home. I'm pitching that hard and heavy right now. Did you know for only 30 to 40 bucks per month, you can get a check for like $1,800? What? How? Let me walk you through it. Right? So if you were getting 300, if you were in the hospital for 5 days and your hospital bill is $300 per day, that's $1,500, and you fell, you broke your hip, and you have to take an ambulance there, that's $300. So now you got $1,800 in medical bills. Okay. But with this hospital plan that pays your medical bills, they would send you a check for $1,800 cash. You go cash it. And I literally had a client today that was with Steph, and she literally told me today on the call, that happened to me. I didn't get any medical bills. I love this company. I don't want to change from this company. Great. Do you want to hear the good news? You still get a check. That $1,800 is yours. Your money. You get to keep it then. If you don't have any medical bills. Let's say, for example, you're supposed to have $1,800 in medical bills. According to this chart that is direct from the insurance company, not from me. I didn't make it up. You're supposed to have $1,800 in medical bills, but let's say only 600 comes in. You get to keep the extra $1,200. It's your money. Use it to pay rent. I don't care. It's your money. Okay. We file a claim. We send it over to the company, hospital indemnity company, and it indemnifies your cost, right? Indemnifies your cost. So that's really, really important. Jody, yeah, you can. Yeah. So just so you know, so Jody asked a question, can you sell them to D-SNPs? Yeah, so someone that's on a dual special needs plan, the reason why they're on that is because they have limited income resources, so they're not supposed to have X amount of dollars in their bank account, otherwise they'll shut off their, it's the same issue you run into with life insurance and having assets, right? Because you'll have people that are on Medicaid, Medicare and Medicaid that buy life insurance all the time, but the cash value is their biggest concern. Well, I can't get it because of cash value. It's like, you can have a certain amount of money, but once you get above that threshold, they have to shut off your income, right? Until you liquidate those assets and then they turn it back on. So the answer to the question, yeah, they can get it. But it just depends how much it's paying out and stuff like that. But yeah, you and I can talk about it. So yes, you can sell it to anyone. And the age on that one is 40 to 85, I think, maybe 89. Bill Miller, he asked a question, can you use Sunfire on your phone? The answer is yes. I don't like it on the phone though. I don't know why. I haven't used it since maybe they did the updates, but they don't have a standalone app. And on the phone, it is just clunky. At least on iPhones, it's clunky. So maybe you guys have an Android. I don't know. It works great on my iPad. It works great on my laptop. So that's the best way that I use it. Cool. All right. So does anyone have any other questions? No questions. All right. Cool. Yeah, so Jason asked what carrier to use for hospital indemnity. The hottest one right now is Guarantee Trust Life, GTL. They have no underwriting from ages 64 and a half to ages 68. And it is amazing. It's awesome because I think when you have guaranteed issue for those ages, one thing that they have a knockout is insulin. Someone could have current cancer and they get issued policy with GTL. And that's a way to really keep your Advantage plan really sticky, just having more business in the house and enabling yourself to be more of an expert. Because Daryl, Jason, you guys that have sold this stuff, if you guys were to say, what percentage of clients that we all sit there, Daryl and Jason, if you guys put this in the group chat real quick, you tell me, and then I'm going to say the number too. What percentage of clients with a Medicare Advantage plan have a hospital indemnity plan that you sit down with? What percentage, right? Probably 2% have one that they even remember about, I guess, right? 2% or less, right? 9.8 out of 10 don't. Just blows my mind. Cool. All right, guys. Well, if anyone has any questions, do your job, pitch everything, talk about all products, help your clients out, put them in the best situation. I appreciate everyone from joining. Like I said, I'll chop this on up, send it on out. And yeah, Jason said 0%. He's right. He's right. So many don't. So, all right, everyone, have a wonderful evening. I will let you know about the Wednesday call if we're going to do one. I'll keep you posted on that. Thank you. Have a great night.